the pace that we're going, I want to hire in advance because I don't want to lose that momentum and have to like interrupt the growth. I wasn't always here. I used to be here. I got a DUI. I did cocaine. I fell off the bandwagon and almost died. So people see like, oh, he had a cocaine problem.
Yeah.
That's relatable. Your systems have to be in place. Like the system has to run without you. So when the system no longer requires you, then that's when you know you built a system that you could sell. So there's a lot of factors that fall into it, and that's kind of like what I work on, and what I'm constantly just like looking to improve. What do we need to add to increase the value of this company? Like flowing.
I think everybody's different, and that's another thing that I don't agree with you. Everybody's different. There's people that function better, are more productive at a certain hour. Now, and then there's people that are weird like him that like to wake up at the butt crack of dawn when nobody is up. I mean, that's just, it works for you. If I get up any time earlier than 6, my head hurts. I don't feel good. So 6:30 is good with me. I'm okay. 7, I'm okay.
6 or 6:30.
Because regardless, we're not going to keep
so
talking. We're not going to keep talking about this.
Hey guys, welcome to Driven Couples. I'm going to get started here while Syl continues to take her shower. And today, what I want to talk about is when to hire a controller, when to hire a CFO. I have a really incredible friend. His name is Edwin. He owns a really successful company. He started it from scratch. And then as you grow your company, you run through problems. And I was talking to a person that gives me counsel, business counsel. And 3 years back, we did 3.6 million in revenue. Second year, I'm going 3 years back, so year 1, 3.6 million in revenue. Next year, we follow up with 10 million. And then this year, we're gonna go over 21 million. So I was talking to this person, and then he's telling me, man, that's so incredible. You're 37 years old, you are a really young CEO. And for that success back to back in 3 years, it's huge. It's like, he said it was unreal. It was like unreal. So he's telling me this, and I'm not stroking my ego, and he wasn't stroking my ego either. He was just telling me, like giving me information based on all the companies, all the other successful people that have scaled their businesses. So he was telling me like, Albert, you don't need this type of person. And he was directing me like CFO, senior controller, what's the difference? So I don't know if you guys know the difference, but when you start a business, you don't have to worry about getting a CFO right away. You don't have to worry about a controller. You don't have to worry about any of that because you do everything. You're the CEO, you're the founder, you're the manager, you're the receptionist, you're the assistant, you're everything. You start a business, and then for the first 5 years or 6 or sometimes 10 or sometimes more, sometimes less, you feel like getting a heart attack all the time. Like it's always like borderline heart attacks, like every week. And I'm talking about when you start getting more people in the business, you start hiring more employees, you start hiring more, you growing your offices, it starts to become challenging. And then you kind of have to figure it out. That's why I always say, when you start a business, make sure you have 3 years of reserves. So if you're making a lot of money right now, make sure you're stacking and racking. Learn a lot of that from Bobby Castro, one of my friends, mentor. You got to keep all those savings there because you need it for your business. Your business is going to go up it's going to go up and down like that. And I didn't have all that liquid, but what I did had was I had a lot of money. I had a lot of apartments, and the apartments I bought at the right time. And then when the properties went up in value, I made millions. And every time my business I would get a little panic where I'm about to go out of business. I would sell a property, get that money, and I would be back up and running. Then another scary moment, sold another property. So I started selling properties one by one. And then finally, I'm down to like the last property I have. And finally my business starts working, and then people start coming, and then all that sacrifice, all those nightmares, all that sweat, all that grinding, finally started to pay off. And then I started to recruit more people. I started recruiting more and more and more and more. And then you start recruiting people. And when you start doing that, you got to train them. So it's a lot of things that go on in your business. You got to train them. And I was talking to this guy that I mentor, and he's asking me, Albert, is it normal? Like, I'm really stressed out. I'm like I have $300,000 here in my bank account, but I'm always working. I'm always like in panic mode, and this could all end. Is it normal? He's having the third baby, and I'm like, I went through all that. There were moments like when Syl was pregnant with Italia, I didn't know how I was going to pay the bills Friday. I didn't know how I was going to make it. And then I would wake up 12:30 and midnight, or I would lose sleep, get up, and I would just get up and get to work. I would start writing notes. What am I going to do? How am I going to fix this? What am I going to do to not be in this position next week? And there was week after week after week, every week battling a heart attack. And it took time. So you have to have the patience to keep growing. And then finally you make it, and then we start making excessive money. But then you're growing so fast that you come into this big problem where you're making a lot of money, but if you don't correct it right now, you're gonna go out of business. And that's a bigger problem, because now you have a company that employs over 300 people, and a lot of lives depend on you, and you don't know what to do because it's your first time growing a business, starting a business. And what helps you, what saves you, what saved me, based on my experience, is having the right mentors. So I speak to somebody, I've been speaking to somebody about this, and they're like, Albert, you're gonna incorporate this CFO, and this CFO is gonna come in, clean up all the mess that happened in the past 2 years, because you just been growing so fast at a rapid pace. It's unheard of. Like the numbers you mentioned, 3.6 million to over 10 million to now over 21 million. And then next year, we're gonna go after 50 million. So these are just numbers that are just unreal. And if we don't correct this right now, we're in deep trouble. So this is what we're dealing right now, and that's why I wanted to share it with you, because a lot of you might think, I need a CFO right now, I need a controller, and maybe you don't need one yet. Okay, we didn't need one till we grew enough. So having said that, I want to introduce my co-host, Sylvia. Thank you for joining us.
Hi. What's up? I kind of heard you from the bathroom. But yeah, what are we talking about? CFOs?
I mean, you should know.
I already said hi to everybody.
Yeah, but, well, I've been speaking for 10 minutes. I
Good.
would love for you to like give us your what you think about what I said. Like, what do you have to tell
The last
people?
2 minutes that I just heard? Or
You said you were hearing from Dak.
more or less, babe,
Yeah.
more or less. And if
Okay.
you want to be annoying, I will walk out. I told you that already. Don't act like that with me, because I'm not in the mood.
Me neither.
Okay. So anyway, guys, we missed you. Love you guys. We had to change the time, so I had to adjust my schedule because I was in the office. He was here recording, and I was obviously working. So yeah, we wanted to have the view in the way.
When you
that
woke
way.
up, I had finished my killer workout, and already cranked it up for like lots of hours.
Yeah, we all know that. You're amazing.
And when I came here and right away recorded, and then jumped into during a couple.
Cool.
So before that, I was like hammering.
So we're talking about CFOs and growing the company, and it's exactly where we are right now. Obviously, now we need more help. We need smarter people, better people, because as you grow this fast, there's a lot of changes that need to be implemented, and obviously one person can't do everything. He can't do everything, and now we have different people on the team that are amazing, but again, we need extra help.
And by
more
the way,
intelligent help.
when I shower later, I'm gonna clean the glass.
For what?
Just because.
He's just trying to get on my nerves.
So guys, like when you have your right hand, so for example, Syl's my right hand. And with my right hand, Syl, I was able to grow the business to the level we have reached right now, currently. But what I was lacking was a left hand. That left hand is gonna be the CFO.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to get the CFO, because the CFO is gonna take us to 50 million in revenue next year. I guarantee it. I guarantee it to everybody that's watching this, to Instagram, and to the world.
I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm actually really
You know,
excited.
does a CFO work in the business or on the business?
On it.
What about a controller?
In it.
What do you guys think? Maybe it's a good time for you guys to comment.
I'm literally just guessing. I don't know. I know it's somebody that's going to make my beautiful life easier so I can spend more time with my kids and not do everything I was just doing all day, basically. So it's a lot of different things, but I'm excited. We have so many amazing people joining the company, which is so exciting. That I want to do the fun stuff. Like I want to hang out with my people. I want to go on vacations, have parties, and work when I want to work, not because I have to be stuck in there 24/7.
So my guy was telling me that right now, one of the greatest qualities that you could have, guys, it's a quality that I have, and not because somebody told me this. Patrick told me this, and then this person that I can't say the name told me this.
I know who you're talking about.
And the best quality a powerful multi-million business owner CEO could have is to realize what you're good at and what you're not. And I realize that I'm not good at a lot of things. And I realize what I'm good at.
Yeah.
So what you're not good at, you have to bring in people. So when you start growing your company and you have so many moving factors, like our business is seriously, I know you don't agree.
I brought you like 20 checks right now. And like that.
I get that. But what you don't agree with, or you agree with it, but you just like conflicts, confrontations.
I don't.
So you like arguing.
I like being happy, actually.
You're like a makeup sex type of girl. So the problem with where I'm going is, you made me lose my thought.
That what I don't understand and you think I do understand.
So our business runs on the autopilot. Like it's checks on autopilot. And it's like just becoming so ridiculous with the amount of closings and checks we're having every week. Like yesterday, Steph was bragging on social media, like, look at all these checks, Albert's gonna be happy. And then Syl comes, same thing. And they're like, well, Syl just gets really stressed out pretty quickly.
I have a sense of urgency, which most people lack. They think they have all week and all day, and then a week goes by, 2 weeks go by, 3 weeks go by, 4 weeks go by, and they're in the same place with the same stuff they were working on the first week.
And that's because you're working in your business. You got to work on your business. And the controller, the senior controller, they work in your business.
Perfect.
They're hands-on in your business, in your business, in your business, in your business. When you have a controller in place, you don't have to worry about accounting, about breakdowns,
about things being put where they're supposed to go.
Everything
being
in your
tracked
business.
the way they're supposed to be tracked.
Now a CFO works on your business. So a CFO with a CEO, they're gonna work hand to hand on the business. They're gonna help you get to 100 million.
I know, it's exciting.
50 million, 100 million,
it's
$1 billion.
Crazy.
And then that's when the company's valuation is gonna grow. Now let's talk about, well, I don't want to put my wife on the spot too much.
Yeah, please don't.
I want to
Not
hear your
today.
guys' questions. I wanted to talk about multiples. You know what multiples are?
Yes, Patrick told us about that.
I don't want to pick on my wife. My wife's so beautiful. I'm going to wash the glass when I take a shower. Just one time. Just to make her happy. Do we have any questions?
This
so
one's
far?
too big. I don't even want to wash it myself.
Instagram. So Instagram, if you want to keep watching this, text the number there for the private link. You jump on the Zoom call. I'm going to talk about all my newest information that I've acquired and just whatever I've been doing. Like I haven't done anything great, but I've grown the company to, over 21 million, maybe closer to 25 million. And next year, I guarantee over 50 million easy, because this CFO is going to help us get to that level. But if you want to keep watching it, text the number. We're going to continue with our Zoom people.
And obviously this comes in levels, right? It's not like it was yesterday. Everything's just like.
I mean, how much do you guys think a CFO is?
A lot of money.
You guys want to take a guess? Jesus, how much is a CFO?
What's their yearly salary?
400,000. What about a controller? And I'm not talking about little controllers and little companies. How much is a controller?
200K?
Yep, more or less. Because we're in LA and because it's our type of industry. So now there's people that you could be like controllers that make 80K, 100K. but you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
You get what you pay for, and you want
Learn that the hard way.
You want people that are gonna watch your back and know everything more than you by a million times. They're gonna make your life easier. So they're gonna be covering everything. Like, hey, Syl, no, you gotta watch this, you watch that. So I mean, we're really excited. It's time, and we grew as much as we could without having to need a CFO. But now we're in that level that we're gonna require one, and there's also differences: controller, senior controller, and CFO. A controller is different than a senior controller. See, a senior controller is somebody that's close to a CFO. They could do the things that a CFO could do.
Cool.
You get that?
Yep.
So if you guys have any questions, comment, ask questions, Steph.
First, you have to focus on making a lot of money, right?
A senior controller has all the CFO skills, chief financial officer. But like Syl said, we'll talk about that.
What?
Well, what you focus first, top line gross income in the beginning. That's how you grow a business.
Yeah. Well, the first couple of years, you're just like this. And then it's like this, and then like this, and then whenever, I don't know if you feel the same way, whenever I feel like I'm breaking, like I'm like, oh shit, like there's just no more me that I can, that I can, there's not much more I can do.
Yeah.
Right? And then you hire somebody, like when I brought Liz into Ambiance, and then I didn't have to worry about that department because she runs with it. Like, Liz is amazing. And then people that you don't have to double check, you don't ever have to check their work. You tell them once and they do it that way, and in that order until you tell them not to, which I love that because you're just following the system. And yeah, and then I find different problems to fix, but that's just life.
And remember, also very important, I'll just say it, you add to it because you're good at this. The person that helps you get to point A is not the person that's going to help you get to point B, to point C. And you obviously have to keep upgrading because you might hire a certain position at a certain pay, and then as you grow, upper level management people, you have to upgrade them. And this is just reality. This is what happens. This is what happened to all these huge companies that blew up. You gotta grow as you grow. Like when you just start a business, I remember we had a person, right? And this person wasn't the most he wasn't always the most ethical person. Yeah. Right? And it was one of the first people that we hired. And this person used to go bathroom and do certain types of drugs, and then be a little slow and go missing sometimes and things like that.
Well, the better people you're surrounded by, the easier your life will be.
In the beginning, it's you need anybody that's going to help you answer the phone, do all the assistant work. But as you grow, you obviously have higher expectations. Like today, like every day is the same. Like I see, like the workouts, the eating healthy part. Like yesterday, we wanted to go have dinner, and we went to have dinner. We went to a nice place. We got a nice bottle of Camus. And we ate a little bit of bread, but then today I made it up with extra cardio. But when we have to have like a nice little quality wine or whatever, we have it. Today we're not. But we always work out. We're consistent, and that keeps you healthy. That keeps you happy. And it keeps us going forward because we're back to back. Out of everything I did, like by the time you woke up, like I remember that remember when you woke up, I told you like, oh, my last set, I was already done with my workout. I'd already checked my finances, did self-improvement, and did all my morning routine.
Good, that's your role, right?
And then so you're up. So when you I don't know for you guys if it's like this, but when you get up, you're like pow, 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 like everything's like that. Like I had a nightmare today. I woke up and I had a nightmare, and I was like pissed off for the first 30 minutes. So it took me time to like get back and
you told me in the kitchen?
Yeah, I had to clear my mind and get over that nightmare. It was like horrible. For 30 minutes I couldn't focus.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it was real, to be honest.
I had this nightmare. And then after 30 minutes, okay, I'm like, oh, okay, I could breathe now. Let me put my computer back on and let me get on my phone. But it took me 30 minutes. So that's why like what Syl doesn't understand is like when she wakes up, she probably just had a nightmare or something. She's thinking about all these ideas. So you wake up, and what people do is they get on their phone. And they're like, oh my God, all these text messages, blah, blah, blah. And you're like reacting to all the messages or your nightmare. And then I'm like on my last set. I've been up a solid 4 or 5 hours, and I'm already like, like my mind is so clear. And then she wakes up and she's like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, that's why we have some conflict in the morning. But then after you get over your like nightmare or all your text messages that you have to return.
No, actually, this morning we were both working on completely different things. I had a deadline for what I was doing this morning.
But you agree with that? When you wake up, you're reacting.
I mean, I know what's priority, and like you'll leave it for like a week, and I need to get it done today. And
yeah,
you're the
but
opposite.
when somebody's been up for a long time,
good.
they're more focused and like that, like flowing.
I think everybody's different, and that's another thing that I don't agree with you. Everybody's different. There's people that function better, are more productive at a certain hour. Now, and then there's people that are weird like him that like to wake up at the butt crack of dawn when nobody is up. I mean, that's just, it works for you. If I get up any time earlier than 6, my head hurts. I don't feel good. So if 6:30 is good with me. I'm okay. 7, I'm okay.
6 or 6:30.
Because regardless, we're not going to keep talking. We're not going to keep talking about this, Albert.
Yeah, but
if I get up, it doesn't matter. I have to have 2 kids.
Yeah, I get it, but 6 would be amazing.
I'm not going to get up
I'm
at
okay
6.
with 6.
6:30 is good with me.
I'm okay with 6:30 too, yeah.
Okay,
6:30 is fantastic.
Great.
But
so anyway,
but the
guys,
whole purpose of that is like, because when we're going back to back, like when I rushed in here, and it was like 4:50, and I tell the guys, hey guys, how much time do you need to bring all the equipment from that room to here?
10 minutes.
And they're like, and set up, right? And they're like 15 minutes, and I'm like, okay, cool, because I told Jesus, 5:20, we'll start there, and then we'll finish like 5:40, and then it's enough time to get here like at 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then he understood that we were gonna start filming there, and then we were gonna finish by 5:20. I'm like, no, we're gonna start at 5:20 because I need 20 minutes to eat something really quick because I'm starving and I'm not gonna have energy, and I needed to shower really quick, freshen up to kind of wake up.
Must be nice.
And keep going. And well, you're a little shiny right now. You guys have any powder?
I actually lost my makeup.
Steph, you have any powder?
Albert, stop.
So then he's like, oh, 5:20. So yeah, 5:20 we start. So we started 5:20. I did what I had to do. And then 5:40 we finished. We hopped on here and we got going. But it's always back to back.
Yeah.
So I'm used to it. And it's always like that. And you get used to it. And it just becomes like your natural
You know something
lifestyle.
funny? Like, I hope, well, it doesn't matter if she's watching. So, you know how I went to go get my lashes done today? I literally have to book my own stuff, and I'm always rescheduling, and I'm always late. And obviously the person that does my lashes doesn't understand this because, I mean, like, you know, if there's no appointment, she'll wake up like at 10. And I'm like, I've never been able to do that. Like I said, to each his own. But I'm like, I'm extremely busy to the point where it just never ends. It never, ever, ever ends. She's like, well, that sucks. She's like, I hope you find your controller or whatever. She's like, because you also have to live. I'm like, well, you know, if I really wanted to, I can not work for a whole week. I can work remotely, but I like to be in my office, making sure everything's running, making sure our LOs are happy.
Is this the same person that wants to get sailed on the spot?
So you pay for a service, because I know you don't understand that, but you pay for a service. Like, you go to the grocery store, you can't walk out with groceries without paying.
Brad tells me pay me like in 30 days.
Yeah, that's different. Those are different levels.
Yeah, well, that's why.
So anyway, what I was saying was that I was just, and I thought about it. I'm like, no, because
loaded.
Yeah, cállate.
Don't throw water at me.
Stop. Let me talk.
Go ahead.
So
you're asking me questions.
You know, like, it's funny because for a second I was like, wait, but I'm like, wait a second. Like, I can literally do whatever I want. Like, literally. Like, if I said, Albert, F you, what? You're on my nerves.
No, because that's
I'm taking off. I would never say that.
One thing we don't do
but
is
let's say
disrespect each
we
other.
don't. But let's say you're on my nerves. I'm gonna be like, goodbye, see you later.
Yeah,
like, I'm taking off for a weekend.
Today.
I'm taking off for a weekend, and I will see you when I get back. Literally, which I've never had to do that, but I could do that. Like, if I just want to fly out somewhere and be by myself for a weekend, I can do that. I can do literally whatever I want, whenever I want, with whoever I want. But I choose to work. I choose to make sure we're good. I choose to make sure, you know, everybody in the office has support, at least till everything is up and running on its own in an effective way. You know, I have no problem doing that because I love working. Work is, like, life is work. I love working. I love being productive. The minute I feel like I'm not productive, it's not a good feeling for me because I love working. I love having extra money. I do not mind if I have to work 24/7, except like I was telling him yesterday. Now we have to also understand that we have 2 kids. I want to be a great mom. And how do you balance everything? You just do. And just like yesterday, I'm like, yeah, we could have stayed home and I could have made dinner. I didn't want to make dinner and then wash dishes and then spend my whole time in the kitchen, eat with him, and then it's like the day's over. So we take off, we go get something to eat. We're talking about work, how we can make things better, what could improve. We had a glass of wine. I don't really like wine, so that's why it's like whatever. But it was kind of relaxing. Wine's like whatever to me.
Well, champagne gets you out of control.
No, well, champagne gets me really buzzed. But it makes me happy.
It gets you out of control, not buzzed.
Whatever. So again, that made me like, today I was just like, but then I'm like, wait a second, like I have a great life and I'm okay with waking up
But
and being full
besides
force.
that, there were 2 other reasons why we went to eat.
What were the other reasons?
Because we didn't have any groceries, so you couldn't cook.
Avocados. I could have cooked. You wanted avocados.
We didn't have food.
We didn't have avocados.
And then we were gonna watch a movie, some show that they recommend. Like it's like more like a documentary.
Yeah, a learning documentary.
And our internet was down.
Yeah.
And guess what? Guess why, guys?
I told him, I'm like, have you paid for it?
Because Albert didn't pay the bill.
So it's on autopilot. It's on autopay. What is it called?
I put it on autopay.
Because I told him this doesn't make sense. Everything happens for a reason. So whenever you find yourself with something that just doesn't make sense, I'm like, well, have you paid the bill? Because we literally just moved in. So he was like, oh, that's a good point. I'm like, oh, dear God. Like, he didn't pay the bill. Didn't make sense. The internet will go out for like an hour. It was like all day gone. So that was pretty funny.
Well, we reset the modem and everything, and it wasn't working. So then when you said, well...
Have you paid it?
We have so many bills.
I know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, I like working. I love working. You should be happy being productive. I think everybody's happiest when they're productive. And if not, you is lazy. That's all I have to say. People are lazy, though.
Yeah, guys, so questions? We got a question?
He's on? What's up? I can't hear him.
It's probably on low volume.
Steph?
We can't hear Michael.
Hold on, we're going to put the volume up.
By the way, there's 3 types of growing your company's valuation, so I'm going to save that for later.
For later.
Michael.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yep.
we can hear you.
Yeah, hey, here's my question for you, Albert. First of all, hello to both of you.
We're doing
At what point do you guys, as far as financial, do you require that you're going to hire a CFO and a comptroller? I know for like us, for at the studio and stuff, I hired my CFO and my comptroller when we were making anywhere between $50 to $100 million. So I was just wondering, do you really think you should hire one right now, or do you think you should actually wait till you go up higher than your 25 million where you're at right now?
There's no like right answer to that, but people usually hire a CFO when they're making like 100 million. And you could do it when you're at 50, you could do it before that. So it's really up to you. But the pace that we're going, I want to hire in advance because I don't want to lose that momentum. And have to like interrupt the growth.
Yeah, what he said.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, brother. So also there's 3 types of growing your business. You could do it organically. You could do it by the people you know, relationships, and you could buy companies. So for example, like myself, if I see a company like a broker shop, a small lender broker, and I see that they're doing okay, they're not doing that well, but they have some good talent, they have a nice office, I could go there and buy them off, and then they become part of us. The way I am doing it is organically. So I was talking to this with one of my counsels, and he was telling me, Albert, the way you're doing it, you're growing so fast organically, and that's like, you're dangerous to a lot of people. And then he said that I'm really young for the numbers that we're doing, 37 years old. Like I didn't even know that, but he was telling me that. And he's like, when your CFO needs to be late 40s, early 50s, because they're gonna have that experience that you don't have, and it's gonna you guys are gonna work very good together.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if they have this innovative campaign or they want to go this direction, I could always disagree and not do it. But it's just gonna be more. It's gonna make us way more powerful. It's gonna release a lot of things that you do are gonna just go to the CFO, and you're gonna be working more on the business instead of in the business.
Great. Sounds good to me.
But he said you're growing organically, and I told him, well, I disagree. I'm not growing organically, and he said, yeah, you are, and I said, no, I'm not, and it's because all the, like, today we got a new agent, right? 10 deals a month, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
And we're recruiting a bunch of people like that. But it's not organically. I spend millions of dollars to grow my brand, to grow my name. Like all the money that I invested in the events, in the mentorship, in the ads, and just growing getting verified and all that stuff, it took a lot of time to grow it to where it is now. Now it's easy for me to go on the live, to DM people, to call people, my contacts, but it took me a lot of money and a lot of time to grow to this level where now I could just organically do it. But before I did it organically, I had to run a bunch of ads. I spent a lot of money on that stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was
I remember.
organically. And then I told this to the person I was talking this morning, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you know what? You're right."
Well, I remember when he would run ads and it'd be like $1,000 a day, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like, why so much? Do you remember that? Estás loco. But I guess that's how you grow. El que no arriesga no gana.
Yeah, guys. So somebody right here that's running a business, or you're thinking about starting a business, I would like to get a question from you and see where you're at. What's your next move? Ask me a question, Steph. Question. You have a question about business? I don't actually. So is this a boring topic or what? Everybody seems quiet.
Go ask us.
Just ask something. Somebody.
So sorry, Albert. So yeah, quick question. As I I'm really going through, as much as I say this clean up, I'm probably going through the toughest times as an entrepreneur with my 4-unit, getting rented and taxes and all that, which is really weighing on me. But in the process of that, built out a pretty good coaching business, helped a lot of people make money online during COVID, and scaled it up pretty good where I was making what replaced the window business, which is what I was making. Kind of couldn't get over that. You kind of spoke it at your Driven event. You're just stuck at the interim. But my brand, I keep investing in my brand. And every window sales, I keep just hit my brand, collaborating with people. And so right now, actually what I'm about to do right here is I'm about to pitch to for the 10X challenge, the coaching business, the format and what we've made, so that I can just partner up with someone bigger than me and have like a team backing it. But part of me is like, man, I don't know if I want to do that. I kind of built out a pretty good, like a reserve income where I feel like I could always go make income on it. And then since I've helped so many other people get to 6 figures kind of, and I'm just like kind of stuck there right now, I wanted to help my younger brother who's a GM at Chili's. Dude, he's cooking flat top today with 3 cooks. The guy's brighter than me. He's read more but done less. So in 9 months, I'm going to get him to 6 figures with his business. And that's kind of where I went away. And we're just hiring people. But the question about business is, should I just try and sell my business that's kind of like actually doing pretty well and like partner? Or should I hold off? Because I'm kind of like, man, I don't know if I want to win this pitch because I kind of like what I have. But I feel like you've got to collab and go with people to go ahead.
Tell me a little bit about your business. What business is it and what do you do?
So yeah, really quick. I mean, I think you know a little bit of my story, but anybody doesn't. Through pain, you can find your purpose, right? By the way, I lost my Driven hat. I got to get that back. It lasted in Cali just last week. But through pain, I basically, some good Spanish girl when I said I was a medium. I'm not a medium. My older brother, Jay, died on drugs, fentanyl. I went through the darkest pain, and I found a video, by our boy Grant, and it changed my life around and got me into these avenues, right? So through that thing, I've learned how to basically find people's pain that everybody has pain in life, right? And I've helped them find their pain to find their purpose and then be able to coach them to get in the right vehicle so they can make the most money right now to then fund it. That's what I've done time and time again. It's worked out really well for people. People have overpaid me, or not overpaid me, but paid me a lot It's all money back guarantee. I'm not here to make people's money. I'm here to help people make more money. But I only have done so much, right? I'm not at your level coaching at all. But and you said this to you, Mia, and I heard it for you. Like, yeah, don't coach any more than you know, and I don't. So because of that, now I partner up with certain coaches, and that's why I want to. And I if it's like a problem that like you can solve, or somebody at that level, or Mo, then I'll sign it up to them. Like I've given Mo's course away a little bit to some people because he's there, although he's got to finish his course. So.
So you would sell your coaching business?
Yeah, so that was kind of where we're at right now. To focus, because focus is everything. To focus on my brother's business, which is basically he's just doing Changing Lives Financials, just doing financial business and partnering up with everybody to basically focus away that, because I can, like anybody else here, and I think Albert and me, once you kind of get a level of brand, people want to know how you build your brand. So you can kind of always go make money by helping people do it and solve a problem, right? But yeah, so I'm right after we finish this, I'm going to be doing my little pitch to 10X pitch. I was just on the call with Pete Vargas and Pat Quinn, and they were formatting my story. Actually, my episode on Amazon Prime came out tonight, and people have been sharing it. So now where I'm at, man, I'm just more like, should I sell the coaching business or should I just go all in on it? But like, I almost feel like I'm just at like the level I'm at right now. You know what I mean?
Can you hear me, Jeff?
Yeah.
Okay, so look, this is one thing that Patrick taught me 5 years ago. And when I went to him, I was telling him like, I want to be a coach. I want to sell coachings. I want to be like Grant, like Ty Lopez, and be online, be an influencer. And then I told him, but I also have a mortgage company. And then that's when Patrick's eyes like opened up like that. And he was like, okay. And then he asked me like, not the exact words, but he's like, so you gotta decide, who do you want to be? Remember that?
Yeah.
Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be, Albert? Who do you want to be? And then I told him, what do you mean, Patrick? What do you mean? And he's like, yeah, who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? And I'm like, okay, well, what is this guy talking about? And then he told me, do you want to be a local celebrity, or do you want to be a man that sells his business for a lot of money? And then I told him,
Both.
And I was like, can you be both? Can this and that? And then he told me something that made a lot of sense, where I just made my decision. He said, well, if you're a coaching or an influencer, he calls it local celebrity. If you're a local celebrity, what happens when you die? Then it stops. So people are going to buy you because you're the product. They're going to buy Grant. They're going to buy Ty Lopez. What happens when Ty, Grant are not there anymore? Then what business is left? People want to hear Grant. People want to see Grant. People don't want to see the people under them. And people could disagree, people could agree, but I'm just saying this because this is how I feel, and I think people will learn from this. And he told me, Albert, nothing wrong with that. You could make your $1 million, $2 million, $3 million a year coaching people and doing all that, but that's going to be you. You're going to be a local celebrity. Well, what if you grow a business that one day you could sell for 10 million, 100 million, or possibly $1 billion? And then that's when I started thinking, and he said, who do you want to be? Do you have to think about that? I don't want to persuade you otherwise. So you decide. It's your decision. Nothing wrong with either or. You could make millions doing both. But he told me, but I am building PHP because I'm going to sell this company for billions. And then me and you, we all make eye contact.
Yeah.
And I'm like, business, the mortgage guy. And then he said, okay, so let's continue. That's a bug right there.
Yeah, so, and that's true. And I actually heard you say that before. And so any business that's title I started, we're entrepreneurs, we think of a lot of ideas and we got to focus. The business is called Changing Lives. I built out the system now where people apply to be certified and then they can go on and change other people's lives. It's very similar to the KBB, just without me with Tony Robbins, everybody's name on it, right? It's kind of the same stuff a little bit, just regurgitated in a different way. But the idea of it is really just to impact people, everybody in pain in life, to help them out. And I built a little system. I have it pretty good. So that's it. Dude, I always build a business to sell it. But just like real estate, you think of the exit strategy, every business I build, and I've always been this way, Like my software business, I have equity in. That's to sell it one day down the road. I very rarely do anything. The only thing, Jeff the Entrepreneur, that's just me, man. That's I don't plan on selling that. That's my brand. I'm an entrepreneur. Everybody's watching the journey from now until I get the Kokomo Jays. But very similar to PHP. That's what my brother's kind of doing, and we're trying to build it up. And I even changing Lives Financial. I told my brother, no, we need the name because I want to do the exit strategy. And dude, I've been just, me, I feel bad jumping on every week because I want to actually have some really big successes before I come back. But I'm listening to you. I'm reading Principles right now. Patrick told you that. I feel like I'm getting coached by Patrick through you. So I'm listening to all the right stuff. I'm working hard. And I guess the biggest thing is, like, how soon do you know when you're okay to let go of your business and sell it? Is it like $1 billion or bust for you? Or are you like, you know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, well, first of all, like you have to know how to come up with your company valuation, because it goes by multiples, and there's different multiples for every industry. So insurance industry could be one multiple, real estate could be one multiple, restaurant businesses could be one multiple. So you gotta know how a business banker is going to evaluate your company, like an investor. How are they going to evaluate your company? So when you start getting high-level CFOs, when you start getting people like that, they help you. They know what you have to, like, first how to inspect your business, and then how do you figure out the valuation, and how do you increase the valuation. So that's what I've been focusing on right now. You have to have at least 3 years of clean audited taxes, financials. Your systems have to be in place. Like, the system has to run without you. So when the system no longer requires you, then that's when you built a system that you could sell. So there's a lot of factors that fall into it, and that's kind of like what I work on, and what I'm constantly just like looking to improve. What do we need to add to increase the value of this company? So that's what I work on. But that book, Principles, you're gonna get a lot of ideas from it. You're gonna learn a lot from it. But focus on, first of all, everybody that wants to start a business, first, always start a business that you could sell. So start, like, if not, why do you start a business? No need to start a business if you're not thinking of the sell. If you're okay with because then you don't really have a business. You're just working in your business.
Yeah.
And when you stop working in your business, it stops. It just starts dropping. I'll give you an example. Brad had a really close friend. He had a VT. So, for example, like a lot of influencers have VTs, have virtual training systems, and they work very well, and they make a lot of money. Some people make $1 million a month, multiple millions of dollars a month selling their virtual training. But what happens when they die? It still makes money, but based on the experience that Brad has had with this client that passed away, that was making over $1 million a month, it started fading. So every month, every quarter, it started fading. And one of the biggest reasons is because you don't have the promoter that's out there like promoting it and going out, going on talks. So that's why I always look at businesses that one day I could sell, and they don't require me at all. So that's why I'm stepping away from being the CEO in the next 2 years. I have 2 more years being the CEO. I'm gonna step down, and I'm gonna pass the torch to somebody else, and I'm gonna be a chairman, but I'm still gonna have some control, but I'm not gonna be the CEO anymore, because CEO's typical lifespan is about 5 years. So a CEO, like, people don't know really what a CEO is. People just think sometimes that a CEO is like cool. It's like, oh, you're a CEO, you're gonna get laid more. Oh, you're a CEO, like you're the boss man. Like, it's not something cool. It's a lot of work, a lot of responsibility, and it's not what people think it is. But typical average lifespan of a CEO is about 5 years. So I understand that 2 years I want to step down. And why? Because I don't want my name too attached to the company, because maybe in 5 years I want to sell and I want to leave with billions, and maybe I just want to be like Richard Branson and stay in my island and just chill. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, that's the way to see it. But finish reading that book. It's going to give you a lot of good information. Do we got one more? But yeah, Jeff, makes sense, right?
Yeah, no, it makes sense, dude. That's why I come on here. Thank you so much for your time. I'm gonna get back to work. Yeah, we don't have 3 years of clean audit of taxes. I kind of knew that. I just see everything in the vision. Like I'm pitching this just to practice pitching, right? Like that's one thing I always do. I take action when something scares me, and that way I'll be ready for when it does come. When I have 3 years of it and it's still going. So I think we'll keep it on for a little bit. But
Yeah, and to answer your question though, I wouldn't sell anything right now. I would continue to build it, raise the value, and then you could do it later. Remember, the future of this world is education. So if you could train people and help people that way, especially virtually and all that, that's the future. And then people are gonna have to pick who am I gonna learn from? And also, biggest advice for most people that are watching this: don't get 10 mentors. Pick one or two, and then learn from those people. And a mentor is somebody that you study every day. I'm not saying don't learn anything from anybody else.
Dude, I love your course, by the way. It's so entertaining. You actually did it right. I've done a few on VT. The driven course is good. Actually, no, I should do some of that tonight, man. I slacked off today, so I just got you live here, but I'll get the replay of you. I got to get through that.
Yeah. So, dude, like seriously, like a mentor is somebody you study every day. So every morning you're like studying, going back 7 years, 6 years, 5 years, and you're catching them on a cycle where you're gonna be like, oh, you know what? I'm in this cycle where this person was 5 years ago, and then from there on, you could continue to grow. Because if you try to learn or do the same thing that somebody's doing at a billion-dollar level, like you're not there yet. It's too advanced information. Go back, rewind it, and try to catch the cycle where they were at and you're at now, and then from there you continue the levels. But yeah, and I'm not saying don't learn from anybody else. Learn 10% from everybody else. But a mentor is somebody different. A mentor is somebody that you study every day, you call, you check in every week, and that's what I call a mentor. Steph, question? Brad. Thank you, Jeff.
On Albert.
What's going on, brother?
How are you, Syl? Hey,
Good.
Dude, better now that you're on.
thank you for the book. To all of you, 3 of you. So my question is, I don't know if you remember our conversation. In Durban, you told me since my company doesn't give me equity, there's like 1% raise once a year. I need to leave. So what I started doing after the event is I started producing like content. I'm like doing Instagram, one content per week. And second thing I'm doing, well, the long-term vision is in 6 months to 9 months, I'm going to start a boot camp for people to get into IT, right? So short story, I make websites. I make a website from small companies or for large companies. And if people wanted to get into IT, because whenever there's big projects, they need like 100 developers, 100 testers, a lot of business people. And I want to train those people to get into ITs, right? So that's the long-term vision, and I want to start a boot camp. How do I go from putting content, just random content out every week, to how do I narrow it down to target that kind of audience? Do you get the question?
Yeah, tell me if I don't answer it correctly, but do you have Driven Academy?
I do.
Okay, well, go through it. I don't think you've gone through all of it, but go through all of it. Have you gone through all of it?
Through one, and you told me to. So, and there was one where you said you need to market for a business, and you told me only do you first, and after you do some promotion, you'll start doing promotion for business. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah. So for example, Rob Luna, you know Rob Luna, right? You were at Driven. So Rob Luna, this guy makes good money every year, millions, and this guy controls a lot of money from people that he manages their money. So this guy's a financial expert, but guess what? He's not the most known financial expert. So stupid Albert could be have more popularity than Rob, and people might listen to me more about what he teaches, because he's not popular yet. He's working on that. So that's the conversation I had with Rob. Rob was telling me like, hey, I'm going to help you with private equity stuff and how to help you increase your valuation of your companies. And then he said, Albert, I need you to help me on how to become a celebrity. because he has a lot of information that once he retires from he still works for he works for a company that he needs to do some stuff, so he's still attached for a little bit, but he's gonna have I don't he's gonna move on later. So he's telling me, how do I become a celebrity so that later on I could reach as many people as possible and teach him all my financial advice, knowledge that I have. So that's what we're working on. He's building his brand. He went from like 40 followers to like over 2,000 organic like real followers. So he's building his brand. So what I did when I had that conversation with Pat, I told him, well, should I still be a celebrity? Should I still be a local celebrity? He said 80-20. We came to the number 80-20. 20% be a local celebrity, and then 80% your business. So I'm using all my popularity to grow my companies. So I recruit, I get attention, I'm well known, so everybody wants to be close to me. So then I bring them in, I get more agents, recruit more agents, and the company keeps growing and growing and growing. So when you do anything, like if you create websites, if you're the best at websites but nobody knows you, guess what? Jesus might be like his websites might suck, but he's popular. People are gonna hire Jesus because he's popular and everybody knows him. He created the website for the Kardashians. So
but how much better if you're popular and you're actually good at what you do?
There's a lot of people that are really good that nobody knows.
But imagine if you're popular and you're really good at what you do, and you take pride in what you do.
There's not a lot of people like that.
There is.
There's not a lot.
I wouldn't say a lot, but there are. Those are the really successful ones. The really successful ones.
When did you start going from just self-promoting to pulling business for the mortgage guys and Driven?
Well, the funny thing is that I never first I grew my brand so that I would have more people listening to me, and then I started promoting more of the companies, like, oh, come to the company, by the way. But I really promote my Instagram, I promote myself, I give people tips, but I do 4 things. Like if you notice my posts, it's one personal post where I post like me and Syl having a relationship improvement dinner. Then I post another post about lifestyle. Me and sitting on top of the Ferrari. And people see it and they're like, oh, what a douchebag. And they're like, wait, oh, he's a father and he's a nice guy. Because then they'll see a post with me and my wife and my daughters and all that. So they're, oh, he's a family man. Oh, how sweet. and then they get confused. And then all of a sudden I hit him with the 4th post. And it's like, wait, this guy does mortgages. And real estate. But I get their attention with the Ferrari. And then they see all the other stuff. And then they land into like, oh, mortgages and real estate. He has a company. You know what? Maybe if I join that company, he'll teach me how to get a Ferrari. So it kind of goes around like that. And then I'll post another post where I show them, well, I wasn't always here. I used to be here. I got a DUI. I did cocaine. I fell off the bandwagon and almost died. So people see like, oh, he had a cocaine problem.
Yeah.
That's relatable.
So I got the personal post, like your DUI and other stuff, lifestyle with Ferraris. The 3rd one is like family with Italia, Berlin, Syl, and you. And the 4th one is like the business where you.
Yeah. So that's when you promote what you do. Because people make the mistake that they're always they do one thing too much. So they're like, I do websites. Like realtors that are watching this or mortgage people. They're always posting, I sold another house, another listing, another sale, another listing. Besides the point that I look them up and they're a bunch of lies, because I could look up their licenses and I could see, did they really close this or not? A lot of, like 99% of the time they're lying. But then when you're just posting another sale every day, it gets boring and people lose interest. But when you keep people entertained and doing your stories, people love the stories. Some people, they're like, why are you doing those stories? Like, Syl, you should have told me you were going to put me on a story, Albert. And because people are always like, why are you doing so many stories? But that's because that's entertainment. People like to be entertained. So they see that, and then all of a sudden you hit them with an ad. Oh, here's this offer. By the way, I have this deal for today. So that's what you have to do, but it takes time to grow it. So you have to be patient. You're not gonna get verified
And consistent.
next month. You got to be consistent. We'll talk about it a little bit.
Well, you're really consistent. He'll be like, I have to do a post, and he'll like time block to do his post. And most people will just forget or say, I'll do it tomorrow, and then they never get to it. Then they kind of just lose that momentum. That's something that you're very good at.
And obviously, quality of content.
Yeah.
You have to have quality content. Like somebody said right now, oh, your Driven Academy is really good. You have good stuff in there. I'm just putting in my Driven Academy things that have worked for me, and I'm just being really raw. Like if you go to my Driven Academy, those of you that have gone into it, I say like some pretty raw things. I mention names. I'm really blunt, and I do that because that's the way to help people, because you need to be real. I don't like when people are not themselves.
They like to try to act like everything's
on camera. They're really politically correct. They don't cuss. They don't say things that might offend others. They don't like to, and then when you see them behind cameras, they're a different person. They cuss. They say a bunch of other shit. So I just said I want to be myself and be real, because I tried pleasing everybody and I tried being politically correct like my wife wanted me to be in the beginning, and 10% of the people still hated me. They were talking shit about me, and I said, fuck it. If people are still not liking me, then might as well be myself, make myself happy, and the same people are still not going to like me. And it's the same people. So people, no matter what, you can't please everybody. So please yourself and be real. I think when you're real and you're yourself, people like that authenticity. And that's what I'd rather be. I don't want to be a fraud.
Yeah.
So be real, and just use those 4 types of posts. So maybe in the morning, you post about your family. People are going to be like, oh, I relate to him. He's like me. And then later on, you post, by the way, I have this deal for this website. DM me right now, and I'll hook it up. I'll give you this extra, bonus, whatever. And then the next morning, you post maybe something different, something that's more personal, or something that's like a flashback Thursday thing. But mix it up. Don't just post one thing, because people get bored of it.
Agreed.
Sounds good.
And,
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. And then like that, I'll add to that with Syl, because like Syl's like very inconsistent with her postings.
I am.
If you look at her Instagram, I'm like, if you're not gonna use your Instagram, I'm gonna use it. So I'll jump into her Instagram.
Sometimes I look and I'm like, when did I post? I'm like, oh, that's Albert.
Yeah, so I'll go into her Instagram. I'm like, you have 10,000, almost 11,000 followers.
I know.
I'm gonna post stuff on your page to reach a different audience. So I'll post on mine, and I'll go into hers, and I'll be, oh, you haven't posted. And then she finds out that sometimes she's like, I'm gonna take this off. I don't like this. but I use her Instagram like a prostitute.
Well, it's my page, okay? So stop messing it up. I have all these ads now. I'm like, what happened to all my pretty pictures?
And by the way, guys, now by ads, I mean like graphics that are ads, but we just post them. We don't run any ads. We don't pay money.
Yeah, not anymore.
So this entire year that I'm making the most money like ever, like 21, 25 million, wherever we end up at, that's just, mortgage or broker. That's not counting my other 11 flows of income. So
it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But all of that is without any ads. This entire year, I have not ran an ad. I was going to run an ad last week.
And what happened?
And my Facebook and Instagram got disconnected. So now Brian had to submit a request and all that. So that saved me.
Yeah.
Because I'm afraid of running ads, because I think if I run ads,
Algorithms.
the algorithm is going to make me spend more money to get the same return.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be a money game. Oh, we'll show it to more people if you spend more. And then the more you spend, the more we show. And then they're going to start capping me. And then I don't want to get into that game where people make $3 million a month, but then they spend $2.5 million in ads. Like, I'd rather make $3 million and spend 0 on ads.
I'm down.
It's more net. It's about the net. It's not about like I made all this money, but I'm even. That's one of the things that we're talking with Bobby.
Hey, we were supposed to dress up today.
For what?
For Halloween.
Why?
It's Halloween.
It's not today. It's next week.
Oh, next
Steph, we
week?
got one more?
Okay.
Who is it? Who? Is this the last one? Yeah. Mark Lund, you're gonna be our happy last person.
He's right there. I see you. You have to unmute yourself. Ya hace frío. Okay, what is it?
Well, Mark, just speak up. You have to unmute yourself.
He doesn't want to.
Oh, he
Okay, what
doesn't?
is it?
What is the best way to scale yourself as a realtor?
Best way to scale yourself as a realtor. You want to answer that? Since you've been quite often, very quiet today.
I just have a lot on my mind, and I have like 50 things to do right now when we're done with this. And I know you got me a massage today, right? Did you? Oh my gosh, I need a massage so bad. Anyway,
So you're not gonna do 50 things if you're getting a massage.
well, I have to jump on my computer for at least an hour, even after you guys go to bed, because that's the only time I get to be by myself.
You're gonna do 50 things in 1 hour?
Tengo que mandar like addendums.
You should coach people on how to do 50 things in 1 hour.
I know. 50, 50, 50, 1, 1, 1.
Because I think you're exaggerating.
Okay, 25. Anyway, so what I was saying was that, how does he brand himself as a realtor?
Scale himself as a realtor. Like
Okay.
scale his branding as a
So
realtor.
you know how to do one transaction a month. And this is what I tell all of my realtors from Ambiance, which are all amazing. And we like to take people from one transaction a month to 4 to 5 to then 10, and then just scaling from there. Obviously, it requires a team, a lot of effort, and a lot of knowledge. And you actually have to be good at what you do, because what good is it to do one successful transaction, mess it up at the end right before closing for whatever reason, and then chasing the next client and the next client. The best way to grow your business is customer service, connecting with your clients, making them know that you care about them. So in my personal experience and what I've told my people, and it works, focus on that one thing, which is real estate in your case, assuming so. A lot of people like to try and do 2 different things at once and be average at both. So I would recommend going all in with real estate. You know how to get one transaction down. Don't be afraid to invest, because people want to make money, but they don't want to invest money. And Zillow's we have a guy right now killing it. Everybody dropped Zillow. The Zillow, I think, dropped their monthly price by 50% when COVID hit. He doubled down, and that's how you grow. And he just focuses only on real estate, because he actually had a record label that he closed, and focused fully on real estate, built a team, after speaking to Albert and deciding on a game plan as far as what he wanted to do. And social media, hitting his sphere of influence, helps him a lot. And he's also great at what he does. He's a very diligent agent, and it's not that hard to be diligent. Most people are just lazy. And just brand yourself. Like what Albert said, brand yourself. Don't just be like sold graphics. That gets boring. Like, give people knowledge before you ask for anything in return. Do videos,
We're having
lives.
dinner with that dude tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Thursday? Oh my gosh. Tomorrow's Thursday?
Yep.
Today's Wednesday.
And the next day we're gonna be in Vegas. If you guys are in Vegas, we're gonna be with the Brad Meister.
So Mark, just focus on branding yourself. And again, good customer service. You'll be able to build a badass database where you don't have to look for business anymore, and you follow up periodically, whether it's through what are they called, drip campaigns or whatnot. Even a text like, hey, how are you, Rosa, for example, or how's the family, how are your kids, here's a card. Do things for your clients that won't let them forget you.
I'll add to that. First of all, you need courage. So I don't know how much money you have to spend right now. If you have 3,000, I would spend 3,000. If you have 1,000, I would spend 1,000. But if you have 100, I would probably spend close to 100. But I'm just crazy, and it's a lot of courage. So if you have 100 grand, what I did is I got a Ferrari. And people are gonna say like, Albert's giving the wrong advice, but it's because they're old.
Perception.
Yeah, but like some people are old and they just don't believe in being successful when you're young. I also don't know what your age is. I don't know how many people you have on Facebook, but you got to put yourself in this situation where you see Goliath, and it's also about how big do you think? Like, how big do you want to go? I saw this Goliath.
Big.
Like, speaking of how I did it, I saw Goliath, and I said, Goliath is bigger than me. He has more experience than me. He has a bigger team than me. He has better attorneys than me. But one thing that Goliath has, he's more comfortable. Goliath has everybody stroking his ego, everybody telling him, Goliath, you're so beautiful. Goliath, you're so handsome. you're so smart. Oh, Goliath. Yes, 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 Goliath. So I know Goliath is beatable. So I said, how am I going to beat Goliath? How am I going to appear bigger than I am? Okay, so I need an innovative campaign. So you need to find out what's your innovative campaign. I said, my innovative campaign is going to be a Ferrari. No broker in my industry, especially here in my local community, has a Ferrari. Nobody is my age and drives a Ferrari. Nobody is even double my age and has a Ferrari and a broker in this industry. So I said, I'm going to get this Ferrari and I'm going to appear bigger than I am. And then Goliath, I'm going to get his attention. And then, Goliath does not like to be challenged because everybody is caressing him and telling him that, yes, you're handsome. Yes, yes. So I did that, and that increased my popularity and my credibility, and it allowed, and more people were running to me. Now I want to do business with you because you drive a Ferrari. Not necessarily they would say the Ferrari, but I would see it. Oh, you didn't want to have lunch with me before, huh? Now you do. And what are you doing first thing you have lunch with me? You're jumping on my car like a little kid, and like annoying kid taking selfies and pretending that it's your car and being annoying. But before, you didn't want to have lunch with me. You didn't want to give me any deals. So that gets you more, it helps you grow faster. And that's how I got the attention of the Patrick Bedavids, of the Grant Cardones. And then that led to another relationship, and then I started growing. But if on your Facebook, really quick, if you have a Facebook account and you have 500 friends, go to your Facebook and start adding friends. Like add
random people.
Yeah, like rack it up, because Facebook allows you max 5,000 friends. So whoever could be your potential client, everybody in the real estate space, add him, send them requests. I was requesting everybody. And then some hot realtor girls were like, why are you requesting me? They thought I was hitting on them. I was not hitting on those girls. I was adding all the real estate agents. And they thought, and they would send me a message, do I know you? Why are you hitting on me? I'm like, I'm not hitting on you. I'm just adding you because I want your business. Okay, so you got to add friends. The more hands you shake, the more money you make. So you grow from there, and then you start making more money, and then you invested more in your
And don't
business.
be afraid to ask for business. I feel like so many people are afraid to literally ask for business. Just what's the worst that can happen? Somebody's going to tell you no. And my grandma always told me, you already have a no. So why not try and go for the yes or the answer that you're looking for? And you either get it or you don't. And either way, you just keep moving forward. You keep working hard. You keep improving every single day, being better than you were yesterday. And eventually you'll end up in a beautiful place that's going to take everything you have to get there. And to maintain it, it's crazy.
That's the biggest challenge. Momentum. You never want to lose that momentum.
Yep.
Steph.
But that's it. I think we're done. I can't
more?
wait for Halloween. Are you guys going to dress up? Halloween is my favorite.
Covered them. You want to hear it?
Yeah, last one. Do they want to go live?
Are you cold?
I don't get cold. I don't get tired, and I don't quit.
You were cold yesterday when we were having dinner.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, yeah, you were.
I don't complain. Huh?
He's like, I'm cold. I was like, that's weird.
Does he want to go live?
Ask Anthony Corona.
Anthony Corona.
He
do you want
said
to go
yes.
Live? Yeah, let's do it. Last question, then we'll
wrap it up
and see you guys next week.
and have a massage.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hi.
What's up, Anthony?
How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
So my question was, like, say I wanted to collaborate with somebody higher in business than me, because I do video. How would I go about that? Like, if I don't have a name per se.
You got to buy them. I always talk about that. It costs money. So, like for me, I don't know if you heard my story with Brad, but I paid him $50,000 to buy his friendship, and it's a lot, $50,000. But maybe you could pay him a different way. Maybe you could, if you're gonna collaborate with him, maybe you could work for free and collaborate with him, like help him on a project, work for free, just so your name is on the project. And then when people see that project, they're gonna see, well, Anthony was part of this. And then that gives you credibility, and then that builds you up. But there's no shortcut, no secret way, but you really have to pay. Like, I paid so much money. Like, there's this influencer. I paid him at least $500,000, at least, maybe more. And am I complaining? Did I complain about it? No, because
You keep
I
growing.
I also like took a bunch of his database, and it made me 500,000, like 500,000 times way more than that. So I can't complain. You pay, but you get. So you always have everything good in life has a price. I don't there's nothing that even sex. Like before Syl gave herself up to me, like I paid the price. Like I paid a
What
lot of money.
price?
I took you out to places.
Oh, God.
Like I spent a lot of money on you.
To freaking
And then finally,
volcano that's like $40.
Finally, you gave it up. But it's not like it was free. Like people say sex is free, but sex is not free. You gotta invest to get the sex. I don't know if that makes sense, but you gotta invest to make it. Like I had to get in my car and drive to you and take you to these places and buy you like what you wanted me to buy you.
Like what? You never bought me anything. You bought me a goddamn like skirt once, or like a T-shirt or something stupid.
Like,
No te hagas el bobo.
You gotta pay the price. You
I
gotta
always
invest.
bought my own stuff. Thank you
Like
very
I wouldn't
much.
say 50,000. You got to pay somebody, but I started by investing a little bit. Like I went to Tony Robbins' seminar, and I sat in the back. I paid a little bit of money, and then from there I met people, and then I just kept growing. And the more money you make, you always want to keep that momentum. So the more money you make, invest it in your business, invest it in yourself, so that you keep growing.
Knowledge.
Because the moment you stop, you start getting scared of spending money, and you're like, no, I'm gonna save. I'm gonna get to 10 G's, then 20 G's, then 100 G's, then 500,000. And you start getting scared, and you don't want to spend any more money. You start going down. Money is there to make you better. So you have to grow with your money. You just can't be like, oh, I grew enough. Now I'm gonna just stack and rack and not invest in myself or in my business anymore. I'm constantly investing in my business.
Always, always, always. And you have to be willing to pay for knowledge. And it's important. Information, the source of your advice. You don't ever want to listen to like, I don't want to be mean, but someone that's not where you want to be. Doesn't matter, obviously financially, because everybody wants to be financially secure, because then you can help yourself, help your family, help charities, help things that you really care about, right? But most people are just the same year after year after year. They're still hanging out with the same people, chasing their checks. What can I say? I know a lot of people like that, and it makes me sad because a lot of them are not that young. And imagine just like the same thing over and over, and you're not making any moves, and you're just spending all your money. You're not investing.
And she said something key. Don't be the person that chases checks every day, every week, and right away, bam! I need that money, cash. Be the person that, and then besides that, oh, I'm gonna save every penny and nickel that I can. That's a broken mindset. That's broke mindset. Be the person that is like, you know what? Let me just close all these deals and let me just cash out at the end of the month. I'll wait a month for my big paycheck, and then you know what? I made this amount of money. Let me go invest 50% of it to grow even more.
Exactly.
You want to be, that's what got me to where I am. Not by
penny pinching,
chasing checks and cashing them same day, and by never wanting to spend money to grow. Like, you got to learn. And I was broke. I used to be the guy that used to chase checks and cash them. I used to drive to San Diego to pick a broker check, drive it to my broker so that they would cash it. And I want my money.
Or
right
what
away.
about like, go pick up the check so you don't have to pay a wire fee. I'm like, I'd rather pay a wire fee and have my money in my account. But it's just levels. And if you're in the same place still like chasing checks, because we used to go to escrow to pick up checks sometimes in San Diego. It's like sad because you haven't closed anything and you're chasing your next check, and it's not a good feeling. You want to be the guy collecting 10 checks a week. 10 checks a week.
It's all mindset.
It's a mindset.
And when you fix that mindset, you start thinking like big, and you look at the big picture. Wait, you know what? I have this amount of money, but if I take this risk and I make this investment, maybe I'll 2x or 3x. But people never grow exponentially because they never take that risk, and their mindset stops them from doing that. So invest your money in your business, in yourself, and you're gonna crush your competition, and you're gonna be way up there, brother.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Thank
all right, guys.
you.
So appreciate you all. And we're gonna keep doing this at 6 p.m. Pacific time.
It gets dark so early now.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
of the different
We gotta
season.
go get those lights. Yeah.
So see you guys next week, Wednesday at 6 p.m.
Bye, guys.
Love you guys.
Bye, guys. Look over there, babe. Bye, guys.